What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Andy, and we are working on some more Car Mechanic Simulator 21 today. Um, in the last episode, remember we brought this van in, and it needed a lot of work. I did some of the work off camera. It's taken apart, but I don't think that's what I want to do today. I still have my Mazda sitting out here. I still got my, what is this? My Jaguar sitting out here. But I kind of want to go check out a barn location. Um, let's see here. Barn, we have a barn location. And see if we could come back with anything good. What do you guys got going on? How you doing out there on this wonderful day? I'm actually sorry this episode is so late. Yesterday was supposed to be my day off, and I got called into work. And by the time I got home, I was exhausted. And then this morning, I had a dentist appointment. Look at that right there, freaking C8 Corvette. What do we got over here? Looks like we got. What do you think this is? Kind of looks like a Pontiac or Buick front end. What do they call it? How much do they want? They want. Where is the price? Where is the price? $30,000 for 1969. I mean, it kind of looks like a GTO or a. Could be an Oldsmobile, maybe. Um, some of those throw me off a little bit. I know a lot more. I know Oldsmobile or Pontiacs and subsidiary of General Motors, but I'm not an expert in those. However, that C8's looking pretty fine over there. Let's go working around here. I see a front end of another car. And you know what? This is what I'm talking about right here. So this kind of looks like a Chevelle. And you know what? I don't even care. That's definitely a Chevelle. So I tell you, Chevrolet, I got you. 27 grand. You know what? We're buying it. 27 grand. Put it at my garage. I do know that you can search for car parts, but are they really worth anything? Let's throw this gearbox in here and that fender. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, another gearbox and a door. I'm trying to only take stuff that I think I know I can repair. Can you repair an engine head on a Land Rover? We're gonna try. You guys know I'm buying that freaking C8, right? Like, ooh, Challenger RT, front left fender. Yes, thank you. I may keep that around. I mean, I know that these body parts are not really worth that much, but we can always sell them, or we could keep them. Supercharger. I don't know if I can repair a supercharger. Should be able to, hopefully. Engine head. Some of this stuff that I know is high dollar, I'm gonna try to take some of it. Water pump red, no means you can't fix it. I learned that a long time ago. Rim, classic, engine, do the door, whatever, fender, whatever you want to call it. No, nothing there. I mean, I would really like to have that car. Let's go over here and buy the C8 so we know how much money. Definitely taking that. Hopefully it's another barn find. How much do they want for this? Please be like 35 grand. 91. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you kidding me? And you know what? 91,000. Okay, I only got 14 grand left. So, we're going to have to go back and do some jobs. I'm going to look around a couple more things. We'll probably get on out of here. Man, I'm like, 91 grand. I mean, I get it. It better be like a freaking special edition or a ZR1 or at least a Z06 for 91 grand. My lord. Uh, I'm a little speechless. How about we return to the garage? So the gearboxes are 5% discount. Let's buy the parts. Screw it. We'll go through and repair them and sell them. It looks like. Come on, load, man. We got what else do we got going on? Of course, it puts the freaking C8 in here. And I mean, it looks like it's a piece of turd trash too. Body's in decent shape, other than it's dirty. I will say that. Rims, eh. Rims are trash. 3 rims need replaced. I think I might have got hosed on that deal. You know what? Let's examine the car. See how hosed we got. Oh, 28, 18, 18, 26, 15. Yeah, I think that for being a barn find, I mean, barn find 2020 C8 Corvette. I mean, is that really a thing? I mean, it's only 5 years old. So, could it really be a barn find? And it doesn't seem to have that much we can look at. But everything I'm looking at is in the 20s to 40 percenters. So I should be able to repair most of the parts. I haven't really seen anything bad yet. I was missing an exhaust. So if, like I said, if everything continues to be like this, I mean, maybe that won't be so bad. Won't be so terrible. Um, how about we do this? I'm actually kind of surprised that it's let me test anything because didn't see a battery. Assuming the battery would be right here in front of my face, or would it be up in the the frunk? Oh, there is some bad parts there finally in the red. Yeah, I definitely do not see a battery, so it ain't gonna be no cranking. LBD2. I want to know how this is working with no battery. I'd say we're definitely missing some parts. Yeah. Oh, the engine is not complete. Well, that sucks. Alright, so how about we just move this on out of here to the car wash area? Why did it take me to the car wash? I didn't want to go to the car wash. Okay, that does look a lot better now. And we only have 12,000 bucks. So how about we move this to entrance B? Alright, so where didn't I buy 2 cars? Where'd my Chevelle go? 1, 2. Oh, okay. I was about to say, I was like, where the hell did my Chevelle go? And that's what I'm talking about. A blown V8 Chevelle. Missing a few parts. And a complete engine rebuild is in order. So I guess we are probably not messing with that with 12 grand. So really about the only thing that I can do is either work on that Mazda or work on putting this van back together. So let's go shopping for some parts. Oh man, I forgot to clear my list off. Where is my list start and stop? So this is got to be for the Land Rover. All right, where's my list? Where's my list? So delete that. Delete that. Delete that. Delete that. So I'd say this is probably where we're starting at. Air filter, sure, sure. Spark plugs. All right, so we know that we're going to need just one of these. Oh, not the alternator. We're going to need 2 idlers, it appears. Crankshaft. Did that say piston rings times 8? I need all the piston rings? Okay. So that van was really in really poor shape. Piston and con rod. How much are these? You know what? Screwed. I'm just gonna get. I'm gonna do this guy a solid, and just give him all new pistons. Cam gear. Timing chain. Definitely only 2 of those. Leaf springs times 2. Jeez. I didn't remember the van being that bad when I took it apart. Even the freaking U-bolts are bad. I mean, it was pretty rusty. Almost everything on the back is trash. 4 of those. Yeah, man, I'm like, do you guys remember this being that bad? Like, I'm gonna have to go back and look at the episode and be like, was it that bad? Because honestly, I don't recall it being that tore up. You would think that electric fuel pump would probably be with the electric stuff, right? Um, in my opinion, the fuel pump's in the wrong store. Rod cap times 4. Flywheel. Clutch plate. Rubber bushings times 8. So we're like, did this van just roll in here and be like, hey, my van is wore out. Please just replace everything? It's almost like that's how bad it's looking. Alternator's not here. I don't know why I clicked on it again. Front sway bar, Jesus. Push rods. Need 8 push rods. They're only 5 credits a piece. You got 2 per cylinder. So you got a V8, 4 cylinders. So 8 of them would be half of them. You know what? Let's just go ahead and do 16. Just replace them all. Like, it's not that bad. You're talking about 32 credits for all new push rods. Rocker arms. You know what? Same thing. I'm going to hook this customer up. I want my reputation to be that I am the best mechanic around. So one of these alternators is not what I need. Okay. I have to make sure I keep that in mind. This is probably for the Land Rover. Starter, no. Fuel filter. Ignition wires, no. Air filter. Alright, so now we need to go figure out which one of these is the alternator that we need. The alternator that I need, so there's the crappy parts that we bought. Where, so I haven't got to, I think, there it is. So I need the 16B one, okay. So I don't need that one. You know what, just gonna buy all new spark plugs. Like certain things, just don't mess around with. Just, replace them. Alright, now that should be enough to put this van back together. So let's slap in the engine block. And then now let's go underneath. Did all this work and we put a garbage looking fuel tank back in it. And some garbage looking exhaust. That's all right though. The customer will appreciate it. I guarantee you the customer will be much happier. At least that's something I didn't have to buy right there. Unlike all these rubber bushings and leaf springs. Stop it, please. Has anybody, I want to show you something when we get here. I do kind of remember one thing weird on this van. And I want to see what somebody else thinks when I get to it. It's going to take me a minute to get there. Or I can explain it a little bit. But everyone knows that on these older Chevrolet V8s, that on the valve covers, they had 4 bolts on the outside perimeter, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. I do recall when I took apart this van that it had the new style they come up with, where it had the 4 valve cover bolts going down through the center of the valve cover. And they changed that, saying that it puts even pressure, less leaks, blah, 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 you know, all that kind of stuff. 275, sure. So, does anybody know or had experience with the center bolts versus the old type? I have, and honestly, I have never. If you do the gaskets and you tighten the valve covers properly, I've never had an issue with the old style leaking. So I'm just curious if anybody else has had that same issue where they're like, oh, my valve cover's leaking. I mean, I'd hate to be the person to say it, but most likely if you got a valve cover that's leaking, you could have a bad valve cover, or you could have over tightened your valve cover. Because believe it or not, those valve covers are made of thin steel. And if you over tighten them, you can dimple it and make the, you kind of dimple it, make it kind of what that would be, concave? A cave goes inward, yes. Concave. And what happens is it doesn't seal right on the surface. So you got to get, you know, your 2 hammers, and you got to flatten out your valve cover, and you got to make sure you torque it to the right spec. And the spec on that is probably between 8 and 10 foot-pounds, or around 100 inch-pounds. Because there is a difference. Some people don't know the difference between inch-pounds and foot-pounds. I know a person who's a very, very good prime example of, they don't know the freaking difference between that. Like, I was watching him tighten down something one time, and I'm like, hey, you realize that gets tightened down to 100 foot-pounds, right? And they're like, well, if I tighten it as tight as I can get it, it won't come loose. And in a sense, eh. And you were also talking about a quarter 20 bolt. Like, that doesn't take a lot of pressure to snap those off. And I'm just like, if it was me, I said I would not tighten them that tight. But, you know, luckily, they didn't have none break off. But you know what they do have? They have oil leaks. All I can say is, if you over tighten it, you will bend it, and you will have an oil leak. And the only person you can blame is yourself. So, let me see here. Where are we at? Let's get the starter put in. I don't think I bought enough bushings. I may have to buy some more bushings here because would I buy 8 of these rubber bushings? I'm gonna need 2, 4, 6, 8. I need 12 of these bushings, right? Yes, I'm gonna need 12 of these bushings. So we're probably gonna have to rock to the store. All I know is I better get a hell of a bonus that almost scared me leveling up. Alright, so what do we got here? Yeah, definitely running out of bushings. Alright, so bushing. And yes, I know I didn't replace everything on here. I was trying to be like, if it was over 50%, I didn't want to touch it. Do I still have 2 bushings? Alright, so I'm going to need 4 more bushings. 4 more bushings. The wheel bearings are bad? Okay. Like I said, I don't always remember everything. But, at the same time, when it comes to cars and car stuff, I do got a pretty decent memory. Alright, so let's get over here on this side. So I know that I'm going to need 4 more bushings. And it's the big ones. Bush. Anybody else like that bush? Bush. Beer. Get your heads out of the gutter. I know somebody else was thinking something else. I mean, but on the other hand, so at least we're going to get, I don't think we're going to be able to work on one of those other cars today. I don't think I'm going to have enough cash. Probably going to have to do a couple customer cars. Or maybe we'll take the Jaguar and we'll do like we did with the Aston Martin, where we take it apart, we repair what we can, slap it back together, make a profit. Because certain things on that car were high dollar money maker parts, and I don't really see a way to go wrong with just repairing what we can and making a little bit of money. We went from, what was it, 32,000 to nothing to 138,000. So, I mean, like I said, it can be done. It can be done. Let me get a drink here. Alright, so let me get over here on the engine. I mean, like I said, the body should look pretty sharp. So we're going to be missing a couple. No, we shouldn't be missing no parts. This was a complete car, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure this was a complete car. 57. I mean, that's. Do I use my new one? You know what? Shoot, use the new one. That's a $2 part. Probably not even a $2 part. It's probably more like a 10-cent part that they charge you $20 for to put in. Oh, my battery's still on the charger. Damn it. Forgot about the battery charger. So there's our brakes over here. And this is another thing. This vintage of van would not have ABS. Does it have the year? 95? Wouldn't. 95 probably would not have ABS. I don't think. It might have been an option back then. Because ABS was just getting introduced on cars around that time. So maybe it was an option that you had to pay for. It definitely was not standard equipment. That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. Oh, man, I hate that. Whoa. Cylinder head, sure. And also, come on. See what I'm saying? See our center bolts? 1, 2, 3, 4 center bolts for the valve cover. I feel like this vintage would have a bolt right there, right there, right there, and right there. All right, am I wrong? I mean, sometimes I am wrong, but I feel like I'm not wrong on this instance. Unless there was a difference between a truck engine and a car engine. That might be the difference that I'm not thinking of, maybe? Now that I'm kind of thinking of it, that could be where it is. This in a van would probably be the truck engine. And once again, I'm sorry if my voice is a little off. I think that the painkiller from the dentist tooth thing today is starting to wear off, and I'm starting to feel everything in my mouth again. All right, so now we can do our intake, but I don't want to do intake yet. Now, the one thing that I wish is that I wish that we could make a ton of money on this right here. But, like I said, we got so much to do. And like I said, these were so cheap. Like, why not just do all new push rods and rockers? I mean, if you're going to take the engine that far apart to replace a piston, and you had valve rod caps, and you had bad piston rings, and you had, who knows what else you had wrong. Why would you not just throw a rebuild at the whole thing? And the other thing, if you look closely at these rockers, see, to me, these look like they have the roller tips on them. So it has the regular pushover here, but it does have the roller here, so I don't believe that to be the correct vintage also either. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Right here. 4 bolts right down the center. Normally on a valve cover, you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, but they changed it to this because they said it seals better. But like I said, I've never had that issue once ever, because if you do the job right, you don't usually have to worry about leaks if you did everything correctly. Like I said, that's what I'm trying to get at. Oh, almost. Sure. The wire's on there. Alright, we're going to avoid the carburetor for a minute, because if I put the carb on, it's going to want me to do the air cleaner and stuff, and I don't want to do the air cleaner yet because it's going to make it tight on some of my other things, like trying to see all these push rods and all these rocker arms here. But like I said, would these be the correct vintage? I believe these should be stamped steel rockers that on both sides. Should not have no roller in it at all. So I don't believe that is correct. I'm really racking my brain right now trying to think. Yeah, should not be a roller. I'm not supposed to be thinking right now. This is just supposed to be relaxing, fun time. Alright, let's go ahead and do the freaking carb. Get it on there. Ooh, air filter base. You know what? You won't be able to see it. You won't be able to see it. But that you can see. So the engine, don't let me forget, I need to go put the mains and the rods on, the rod caps, and the oil pan before I try to do something dumb like put oil in the engine. Because I've been known to do that at least once. I'm sure anybody who's been built something before has gotten in a hurry. And they're like, oh, let me start dumping some oil in there. And then you hear something, you're like, what's that? And you're like, ah, about that time you remember, you ain't got no oil pan. Because I know I'm not the only one who's ever done that. Everyone makes mistakes. And I'm not afraid to admit it. Also, I feel like this would be possibly the wrong fan right here. Possibly. Alright, so there's my roller. I guess I should put the body together. Parts. So at least we're already, what, 100 and... We've already got to 140 on our experience for the next level. That's one of the reasons sometimes I like doing these bigger, take it apart rebuilds. Because it does help boost up your level faster than if you're just winging the jobs in and out. It's kind of like if you worked at a brake place. you're winging out, 3, 4, 5, 6, how, I don't, depending on how quickly you are doing brakes, and did you have to turn rotors, or did they just buy new rotors? Because some of that, I mean, actually, one of my buddies, I told him to go somewhere and get his brakes done and tell him to turn his brake rotors. And he said they told him that they don't turn brake rotors anymore. You have to buy new rotors. And I'm like, what? They definitely make machines to turn rotors. Um, Benpack has a freaking machine. Benpack Lifts makes a machine to turn. I would say Benpack Lifts. Benpack is the company that has lifts, and they sell all kinds of things for car repair. Did I miss anything? I don't believe I missed anything. I know that they have a brake lathe. Does rotors and drums. So there's no excuse for a shop to be like, you have to buy new rotors. What? Excuse me? Why don't you, but I think what they're doing is, in my experience, what these shops are doing is they are just trying to, what I call, get the customer in and out, do a pad slap. They're trying to pad slap you so that because the more jobs they do a day, the more profit they make. And they make tons of money. I mean, you see these little things that say, $99 special for brakes when it did, just, pads only. And by the time they use their discounts to buy the parts and to pay the mechanic, even if, so let's say he takes 20 minutes to do it, that shop still made 50, 60 bucks. And if they didn't, then I don't know, because you can pad slap something, and for doing it quickly, I've done it. I put pads on my son's Ford van, and I did 2 front pads on both sides. Oh shit, made me not pay attention. Like I lifted it with a jack, used my impact on the tires, ripped off the freaking brake calipers, used my C clip, not C clip, C clamp, pushed in the pistons, slapped the pads on, had the wheel back on, did the other side. I mean, I swear I was in the house in 15 minutes washing my hands, if not sooner. Alright, so did we get everything on this? I want to check this. So, oh, I missed the front springs. I remember looking at those, coolant and the front springs. Okay, let's do coolant real quick, and then we can pop these front springs off, because I'm pretty sure I can get the springs out of here without being underneath the car. Definitely a mistake on my part. See, like I said, I'm not afraid to say I make mistakes. I just overflowed the coolant. No, there we go. Yeah, so I can get those out. Let's get over here. Alright, see, right here, separate. Oh yeah, I should have known by the freaking rust that it was terrible. The other parts don't look that bad. So, inventory and spring. Oop. Car parts, tab, front spring. 2 of them. Jesus, $190 for springs? For 2 springs? That seems freaking expensive. Alright, so there's... Alright, let's take a look again. Just gonna be everything is checked. So all we need to do is put this gentleman's body parts back on here. And we can see what kind of bonus they're going to give us. And I know the windows and the tail lights are going to be in terrible shape. But the rest of it is going to be immaculate. Customer's going to be happy. Until he looks at his license plate. Or he tries to use his windows to back up. Oh, you can repair the mirrors? Did not know that. Yeah, definitely body and mechanical wise, this sucker is brand new. How did I do that? Alright, so everything together. Oh, license plate. Almost forgot. Alright, fingers crossed. Did we do this right the first time? How much money are we gonna make? Not a lot. So we're making $7,000 and we spent what, 3.5? So I mean we got double our money. We got double our money. That's not bad. 3.5 grand to make 7. I think that we're gonna finally probably go ahead and take care of this stupid RX-7 in here. I don't even remember what it needs. Filter. Ooh, it needs a lot. Flywheel. So it's engine. It's all engine. And transmission. So I think the best thing for us to do is to no. Take the oil out. Let's see, what else do we got here? I didn't actually mean to do that. But hey, it worked. Alright, so I was trying to get to this. Alright, take the take the coolant out. Take the power steering out. And, ooh, take the brake fluid out. Alright, that should be the big ones right there. So we did that. Does it have an OBD2 tester on it? So we start talking this area very early. Because this has got to be what, an 87? 92. So that would be very, very early OBD connector. Might as well go ahead and do a compression test on it. See how terrible it is. these little rotors seem to be in good shape. So we're not taking the whole engine apart. So maybe we can just whip through this real quick. If we just grab the parts that we see that are rusty. I mean, that's not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah. Alright, so the suspension looks pretty good. Another one of these transmissions is held in by 4 bolts. Yeah, I don't think so. Flywheel's toast. Definitely see some. Ooh, the clutch is toast. Alright, so let me take a look here. Brakes. So the parts on this car that are toast is the go fast parts, and he burned up the brakes trying to woe it down. And that was actually a problem with the RX-7s, is especially the ones from the 80s. They would go fast as hell until you tried to stop it. And then you would have a problem. Because the brakes were so little on it that you had trouble stopping. And this is before the era of, everyone having these giant Willwood or Bear or whatever company you want to use to get the giant brakes on your car. And like I said, I'm just taking all the brake stuff off because I got a brake lathe. I have a brake lathe. So that's what I'm talking about. You've watched me do it on this game. I don't even know why I was trying to say that. I got a brake lathe in this game. So I don't understand why shops nowadays say that they can't turn rotors. It's that they don't want to turn rotors. They don't want to take the time or the effort to train someone, or maybe even, I mean, I guess that the brake lathe is a little bit on the pricey side. But if you don't have what the customer needs, then what are you even doing there, right? So it looks like we're going to have to take the whole front of the engine off. So let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. Like I said, we're just trying to get the parts off that we need to fix this RX-7. Get us back on the road as quick as possible. Alright, so hopefully that's all we need. Have we... So, replace timing chain. Where the frick is the timing chain? Timing chain. I'm going to have to go deeper into the engine. I didn't want to do that. Because I can't remember on a rotor engine if you have to split the case to get to the... I gotta go back under the car. Damn it. Well, hopefully I don't have to take the exhaust off. Let's go ahead and move the radiator. There's the ignition. Ooh, the wires are post. That's something I didn't notice. At least the plugs look like they're in very, very good shape. Hopefully the timing chain is right under this cover right here. What do you guys think? Think yes, think no. Do I have to take the oil pan off to take the front cover off? There are some cars that you have to take the oil pan off to do that. And I think, yep, I gotta take the freaking oil pan off. Oh crap! Like, to me that's dumb. So I might as well take the turbo off. And just because. Alright, so timing chain is right under there, yes. See that, like, to me, like I said, that's dumb. You gotta take the oil pan off because the oil pan bolts into the timing cover. There are vehicles like that. Wow, I almost got another freaking level. I didn't even realize that. Alright, so hopefully this is the last of our parts. Let's take a look here now. Timing chain, water pump, air filter, fuel filter, ignition coil wires, brakes, yep, clutch flywheel, gearbox. Alright, so we should be able to take and go through our parts now. So we're going to need a couple maybe. Alright, here's our engine head that we had. Can we repair it? Yes, we can. But was it worth it? That's what we need to figure out. Alright, so let's look at this gearbox. We paid... One of the gearboxes we got for $400, the other one was $200. And now I think we're working on the stuff for our Mazda out there. A lot of this stuff I don't really need to repair, but you know what? Like I said, I want to be that shop that's like, take your car here. This guy will hook you up. And that's the way I want to be known for. Now, the last person that brought their bike to my house for me to work on their bike, I ended up giving them some old parts that I had put on my bike that had about, I don't know, 1,000 miles on it. And I'm like, it's not enough. So I went and bought other stuff. And I just had it laying around. And I was going to work it out to where they were going to pay me for it. But I never did. I never did get paid for it. So, right now they're still riding around with my parts inside their engine. And, I mean, whatever. It is what it is. I don't care. I'm glad someone's getting smiles per gallon. And that's what you say. Smiles per gallon. Because if you have anything that's built, you don't worry about miles per gallon. You better be counting the smiles per gallon. I think we had a couple of body panels too. So we're going to repair these and see what we... Cause I remember we only spent like a little over $1,000. Around $1,000. getting these parts. I wish I remember the exact number now. Alright, so here's all of our parts. Alright, so let's go in here. We know we're going to need this and this. We need an air filter. I don't think we need a cover. Ignition coil. Ignition wires. Water pump. Do I need a fuel filter for this? And I need an oil filter. And a gearbox. Because there's the front springs. Alright, that should be all we need. So there's our sprocket. There's our timing chain. Air filter. Nope, nope. Fuel filter. Sure, why not? Oil filter. Yes. Brake disc 1. So I guess I didn't pay attention to that. Was when I surfaced those brakes, was it one of each one? $1,600 for a gearbox. Jeez. Like, this is the one I'm like, someone can't be serious. Whoop. What? Oh. Clicked on the wrong thing. Electronics. That's not bad. Alright, so now we've cleared out everything. Let's get in here. Stop it. We probably want to put this cover on. Because I can't do the oil pan until this cover's on. And usually if you do engine work where you open up or expose stuff to where it can contaminate the oil, it's usually a good idea to go ahead and just change your oil. Did you drop dirt in there? Did you, who knows? You're talking about an engine. Don't take a chance. It's cheaper to just spend $40 and change the oil after you work on it if you exposed possible contaminants to the oil. Like I said, I mean, you're like, oh, I don't want to spend $40. I got $500 on that oil. Would you rather spend $5,000 and replace the whole engine? Look at it that way. Don't look at it as $40 for oil that doesn't have hardly any miles on it. Cheap insurance. Alright, there is the fuel rail. Intake. Alright, what else do we got going on here? What do we got going on? I need to go do the oil pan. But it looks like I can do pretty much all this without having to go do the oil pan yet. Oh, spark plugs. Well, at least we know we're putting the best of the best in our engine right now because we haven't got rid of all the other junk yet. Phase, radiator, Really, I was able to repair a plastic radiator fan? Like I said, sometimes when I see some of the stuff that you can repair, I just chuckle. Because how are you going to repair plastic radiator fans? How are you going to repair that? I mean, somebody please tell me. I would love to know how you, I mean, what'd you do? Wash it and polish the dust off of it? Alright, so, car up. And we're going to start in the back. Which one of these was the one that I need to replace? Hopefully it's not that one. Which one was the brake pad? Brake pad. Oh, that's not. We're not on that one yet, so. Okay. So it must be the front. Okay. Front over there is the one that needs replaced. $45, $45, $45, $235. I was starting to wonder if I should have paid attention to what size the tires were, but then I was thinking, nah, I wouldn't expect an RX-7 to have different size tires on the front and the back. Not like some of these other cars. But like I said, we're not making enough money. We're going to have to do something to get us money to take care of our C8. And here's the thing. I think when I get the C8 done, it's going to be part of the family group here. And we will not be selling it. I mean, how many chances do you get to own a C8? I mean, honestly. Although, that must be, like I said, it's got to be, hopefully it's not a standard. Because I doubt it's a ZR1. And they didn't come out with a Z06 in 2020 either. So, now I'm curious, what the hell is that? Because they had like 3 different levels of the C8 in 2020. I know that the one that was all decked out, I don't know what they call it, 3LT or something like that, was, like I said, it was all decked out. You had the highest trim level of everything, and it was around 100-ish grand. But if you bought the basic C8 Corvette, it was like 56 grand. Which really, for 56 grand for a car that goes 200 miles an hour, I mean, that's not freaking terrible. So let's go buy some brakes. Car parts, brakes. Brakes. There we go. And I could have turned off that brake thing, but you know what? Who cares? It's fine. Alright, and the last thing should be our oil pan. So now, I just realized that this car is in kind of poor shape, really. I mean, if you really stop and take a look. Alright, so we need to do the oil. Check. check. Refill brake fluid, power steering, oil. I mean, not a problem. Where's stupid brake? Turn that off. So brake fluid. Oh, this brake fluid was almost empty, wasn't it? There we are. So there's the brake fluid. Good. Probably didn't have to. No, I did have to take the coolant out because I had to take the water pump off. Ask anybody what happens to the coolant in the engine if you take the water pump off. All over the floor. So power steering. Where's my power steering? Power steering. There it is. And then engine oil. And then we're set, baby. All right, so let's see what we did for this. I mean, we didn't go super overboard with this. We just kind of fixed what we needed to, and the parts that we had to take off. You know, it is what it is, kind of thing. So everything is done, or is it? I don't know if we put our starter on. Did we put our starter on? Yes. Oh, I didn't even look how much money we got. Couldn't have been much. Maybe $4,000. Well, should we work on next? Should we just do the repairs on this, what we can, and send it so that we can get this baby done? Do we work on this, or do we work on the Chevelle over here? Like, the Chevelle is looking pretty freaking sweet right here. Like, but it's gonna need a lot. So let's move this. And let's move this. And there we go. I mean, that's not a bad looking garage right there. But let me know what you guys think. What should we work on next? My name's Andy. I appreciate every view I get. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.